Welcome aboard, everybody, here to the Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you, and boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you today as the Jets come away with a incredible, thrilling, nobody predicted it, stunning victory. And look, in a year where the Jets have been able to show great progress and win games that beginning of the year nobody thought they could win, like going into Green Bay and winning in Denver, winning in Pittsburgh the way they did early in the year. But this one against the Buffalo Bills, after what happened last week where Zach Wilson had a terrible performance, you had the roughing the passer penalty, everybody was jumping off the Jet bandwagon as if it was on fire. The Jets come out there and they take care of the Buffalo Bills. Defense was absolutely incredible. The running game was incredible. Zach Wilson didn't make a mistake, did just enough to manage the game, and the Jets found a way to pull off perhaps their biggest upset of the season, beating a team that a lot of people, including myself, thought and still think might end up representing the AFC in the Super Bowl this year. That was one of the biggest wins the Jets have had in some time against Buffalo. So joining me today, and to talk about this game, recap this really quick, we're going to bring on a special guest through the Zoom call. We're going to go. My good friend, Mr. Dan Feuersetin of the Jets podcast. He and Rick Laughlin host that podcast every week on the Block Talk Radio. Let's bring him in.
You had to stick to the script. You had to go out there, and you had to find a way to beat the Buffalo Bills, if not their own game, the way the Jets scripted how they're going to play against this strong defense and how they're going to defend against Josh Allen. And overall, the only 2 touchdowns that the Bills scored was by Josh Allen running the ball into the end zone. That's it. Nothing from Diggs, nothing from the running backs, nothing from the tight end, nothing at all. And the New York Jets played probably their most complete game.
They did, and if you want to go by the Las Vegas odds, the Jets certainly made a lot of people upset at Vegas, but made a lot of Jet fans happy. Now, Josh Allen was really the difference in this game, and he was going to be the difference in this game for the Buffalo Bills in both ways because first of all, the way the game started with the Jets muffing the kickoff, okay, and then the Buffalo Bill, and then you see Allen hit Stephon Diggs on the first play of the game, thinking, "Oh my God, here we go! This game is going to be a total, complete train wreck of a football game for the Jets." And instead, the defense stiffens. The next play, Josh Allen throws an interception that killed the drive there for Buffalo. So that was the end of that. And I know the Jets didn't do anything with it, but the fact is, the Jets kept them off the scoreboard. Then you have the interception by Sauce Gardner there after the Jets get the touchdown. That was huge. That helps set up the Jets for their touchdown. Takes a 17-14 lead. The Jets got pressure on Allen. Now, the problem was he found ways to get in and out of the pocket, and he is such a powerful runner. Ran for 86 yards in this game, and both touchdowns for Buffalo were by Allen, on his legs. He's a very hard guy to bring down. You can't wrap him up like you would any normal quarterback or player over the shoulder. You have to go. Yeah, I know it's the league. You don't want to get low on quarterbacks. I understand that, but there's no other way to get him down. And the Jets figured that out towards the end of the game. They start, going for his ankles, trying to bring him down from behind, and then of course we saw the huge strip sack by Bryce Huff. That was absolutely the difference in this game. That was the turn. I mean, there were a lot of turning points, but that was really the finishing touch in this game when he comes on the weak side and smacks Josh Allen, and he apparently got injured on the play as well. That was the finishing touch in this football game.
It really was, and you got to give credit to Bryce Huff for that big play there, and give credit to this Jet defense because it's not so much can you bury him, you have to hope to contain him. And that's the one thing you need to do because it's not only his arm he can beat you with. Josh Allen can beat you with his legs. And the most important thing is, even though he got his touchdowns, as I've said already, no one else got any touchdowns either. None of the running backs, none of the wide receivers, and the Jet defense. We can say this right now. They're close to being elite. Close. No, they're not there yet. There's still more time for them to get better. But you cannot deny what Sauce Gardner has done, what Michael Clemens has done, what Jermaine Johnson has done, what Quinnen Williams has done, his brother Quincy, C.J. Mosley, Quan Alexander, DJ Reed. Unbelievable what this Jet defense has done in these 9 games to put this team in a position where, yes, you need complementary football, but this defense has been very strong and very believable to say that this team is on the rise.
5 sacks by the Jets on Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. You also had 6 pass defense, 3 tackles for loss, 8 quarterback hits. They got the job done on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, this was all about how the Jets finished the game. Because when the Jets were on their final drive, okay, now you're at a tied 17-17. You're starting your own, you're shouting your own goal line. This is Zach Wilson's chance to shut up a lot of people. And with 7.5 minutes to go, he's able to engineer a beautiful 95-yard touchdown drive that ate up about a little more than 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, and mostly on the ground. Almost all of it exclusively on the ground. What a job by James Robinson and Michael Carter just plowing through those Buffalo defensive front. And I understand Buffalo's got injuries, and I know every week we have to hear about someone's excuses saying, "Oh, well, this guy's hurt and this guy's hurt," and it seems that's an excuse every week when it comes to someone playing the Jets. But it doesn't matter. This was the Buffalo Bills, and the Jets rammed it down their throats in that fourth quarter. And maybe the best pass of the day by Zach Wilson was the if correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was a second and long, yeah, around the 15-yard line for Buffalo, and he hits Denzel Mims on a screen pass, and that was absolutely the best pass that he had all day. In a day where he just basically managed the game, didn't make the big mistake throw. That was his most important pass because that helped set up the Jets field goal right there at the end of the game.
And there's one more person we have to give credit to that also grew up in this game.
Yes.
And yes, he is on offense, but he's not on the field. He's up in the booth, and that's Mike LaFleur.
Yeah.
That final drive for the Jets to get to the field goal to make it a 20-17 lead at the time,
Hmm.
Mike LaFleur grew up right there because he recognized right away, I can't screw this up. I cannot call a pass play here and there. That the run game is shredding the Buffalo Bill defense, shredding them.
Hmm.
James Robinson, Michael Carter, even Ty Johnson. I think he's finally realizing you can't be pass happy too much.
And a couple of points here before we just talk about just our own personal thoughts, the way this game ended. But Garrett Wilson, huge game today, 8 catches today. He almost threw the game away when he was, hey, let me just do this with the football, and he was running around like that. I'm like, what are you doing? Just hold on to the ball. And
Exactly.
eventually, that drove me crazy. But other than that, he had a huge game. What do you quickly make out of the fact that Braxton Berrios only 1 catch today, only wasn't targeted much, but Elijah Moore wasn't targeted at all. I know everyone's going to go crazy over this. What are your thoughts? My thought is A, maybe there just wasn't a play option, an option for him, or B, maybe there really is something going on there that the Jets there's something there between he and Zach Wilson that just isn't working right now.
Let me say this right now. The team is winning, and we really shouldn't be worrying about these hypotheticals. I really
Yeah.
believe that the team is winning. And I think Elijah Moore has to understand that even though he's a second year wide receiver for this team, you know, there are times where Zach Wilson, and unfortunately wasn't targeted again, but still, though, the point is you're winning. You're part of a winning team right now. You're in a position where the Jets can make the playoffs. And I believe me, I want him to get targeted. I want him to get opportunities. I want him to go out there and get the chances to make these big time grabs and run it for first downs and even go for a touchdown. Believe me, I really do.
Hmm.
But sometimes it's just not there. If it's like that 2 weeks in a row, then it's like that. It's like that 2 weeks in a row. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'll be honest with you. I expected this team to lose this game.
Me too.
This game made me nervous as hell. It
Oh,
made me
me too.
nervous as hell. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sitting there, I'm thinking, please don't. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop in that last drive. And I'm
yeah.
thinking, I'd rather have the touchdown. They end up kicking the field goal. And even then, I'm scared to death. And then when Josh Allen heaves up the last ball and it's knocked away by Sauce Gardner, you see him kind of getting to an armbar situation. I'm thinking, oh my God, any moment the flag's going to fly. The flags are going to fly, and it never did.
No, because I will give the officiating crew credit here. They allowed Sauce Gardner and Stephon Diggs battle for the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. Unless it's truly egregious,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to throw the flag. And thankfully, it was not egregious. And
Just,
Sauce
yep,
Gardner won it.
he did. Sauce Gardner wins it. Let's sound the trumpets for Sauce Gardner. Let's get Timmy Trumpet over there as well. MetLife Stadium.
Yeah,
Anyway.
do it.
Yes. There's the schedule right there, folks. I mean, as I mentioned, they got New England there. They got the Bears, the Vikings. Vikings game is going to be tough. Then they go back to Buffalo. And then you wrap up the season, with Detroit, Jacksonville, Seattle, which is going to be a fun game now with Geno Smith, what he's doing, and then Miami. And, to me, Dan, you look at those 3 home games, you figure Buffalo, or not Buffalo, Chicago, Detroit, and Jacksonville, you would figure those are games the Jets might be favored in. They have been favored in many, or at least should win. That if that were to pass, that gets you to 9 wins, and then it's the question of those 5 road games, can you win at least 2 of them? And can that
I
get
mean,
you to the
yeah.
postseason?
I mean, look, listen, like I said before, I don't think we have to get greedy here.
Hmm.
This team has to go one game at a time. I think
Yeah.
we as Jet fans have to go one game at a time as well. I think we're really going to have to slow it down and just say, let's enjoy this victory. We have 2 weeks to enjoy this victory, and then get ready for the Patriots at Foxborough. And then after we're done with that, then we worry about the next game.
So on that note, folks, that's pretty much that's Dan pretty much sums it up right there. We just take it one game at a time. But really, this was just exhilarating. I mean, this was easily the biggest upset of the season, and it puts the Jets in a position where now they can really start to think about what's possible for them moving forward. Playoffs, seeding, even the division title. I can't believe I'm saying this. Dan, I can't
What?
believe I'm saying this.
What?
AFC East is in play. The AFC East is in play with the New York Jets. What the hell is going on here?
There's one more thing you may have forgotten.
Tell me.
We may have a flex game.
It could happen.
It could happen.
We got
Maybe coming out of the bye against New England, or maybe the road game in Minnesota. We need to see what will happen and what the NFL scheduling will do.
Dan. Dan's been wanting that Sunday night flex for about 10 years. He's like, give me another flex. Give me another flex now. He's been waiting. That's why that beard is growing. He's
That's
waiting for a
right.
flex. Dan, I want to thank you again so much. Again, Dan, part of the Jets podcast on Blog Talk Radio with Rick Laughlin. Folks, remember, like and subscribe, and we will talk to you next time. Jets win. Edwin Diaz comes back. The Giants didn't lose because they're on a bye week. So we'll talk to you next time right here on Sports Talk Nation.